Hi, this is Dansoy, amateur cook, aka Batman in the Kitchen. Welcome to the Food Zone, where we take this journey together, learn recipes as one. Yeah, it's another rainy day on the East Coast of Canada and USA. We're going to make a really quick, like a steak and pizza soft taco thing. I honestly do not know the name of this. I really don't know the name of this, but you could take ingredients just like this and make something tasty. So for this recipe, we're going to use soft tortillas. The thing we're going to do is we're going to use garlic butter, and I'm going to try to cut these in triangles, and then we're going to put them in the pan with garlic butter, and we're going to just toast them up a bit, and then we'll remove it from the flame. Then we'll put the steak in and the other stuff. But for the recipe, garlic butter, the soft tacos, we got our steak, green bell peppers, cilantro, mozzarella cheese, pizza sauce, and Goya. So let's get started. Alright, so we have our tortillas, like I said. Do whatever you want with them. Try to cut them in triangles. If you want, you could just cut it right in half. Or you could cut it in quarters. It really doesn't matter. We just want to put some of these in the pan, and we're going to put them on the bottom, and then later on we'll put the steak and everything on top of it. It kind of gives like a crispy bottom and a taco flavor. And when you do it with garlic butter, as good as garlic butter is, I can't get this open. You can see that garlic butter. I wish you could smell it. When you put that together, these things are amazing. The one thing I did forget is we're going to use taco seasoning, and we have a lime. Just sprinkle like half the lime over top of the meal. But let's get started. We'll cut these into shapes, and then we'll get it in the pan. Alright, so you can see what I did. I cut that in half. I took my chef knife and cut that in half. Now I'm going to cut these again like that, and they'll basically be in quarters. If you want, you could cut them even smaller, or you could dice them up if you have a really sharp knife. With this recipe, like I said, there's really no rule, no law. You do it the way you want. This is your cook, your house. Alright, so you see how I took my chef knife and I cut these all in triangles. I ended up cutting one half of it, then I put it on the top of it, and you can cut like perfect ones. Like here's the remaining ones. These are small. I'm going to actually save these and eat them for another day. Cook them with my other stuff, so I'm going to use these. So we'll put the garlic butter in the pan, and we'll start doing some of these. If we don't use all of them, you could put them in a Ziploc bag and use them another day. But that's how you could reuse food and make all kinds of creations. That's the one thing I like about cooking is you could always think about new ideas and new meals, and you're cooking it for your family and your kids. Just make it good enough for you. Like, you don't have to please the world. Just make it tasty and enjoy. And it prevents wasting food also. Alright, so we have the butter in there, the garlic butter. Put the stove on medium. The stove on medium. Start placing these over on here. If you have a chunk of butter, it doesn't matter. It just melts in. And when you do a batch like this, it's going to take time. So just cook that and then flip it. It won't take long to cook these. Alright, so you can see how these got brown. Just keep flipping them until you get them to the color you want, and then keep going on with the rest of it. Alright, so you see how we did those? And you see how the other ones are? So I put more garlic butter in there. So just keep taking these. See how they go in? Just start lining the pan with a lot more. If you have more than you need, just cook them up and put them in a Ziploc bag. So, see how that's sizzling? Just do that until they become like this. And I'm bringing you first person view instead of using a tripod or another person to record me, because you can see it directly from my eyes. Alright, so you can see that I did a bunch of them up there. So that's basically how you can do it. You can use these for anything. You could let them cool, put them in the refrigerator, and then bring salsa out and do it. But there's the pan right there. I'm going to do a couple more, and then we'll be back to cook the rest. Alright, so you can see that I already cooked them. I might have a little bit more than I need, but that's okay. But that's what you want to do. Like, you can make them lighter, you can make them darker. But look at them. If you want, like I said, you could let these cool down, and they'll get really crispy and hard, and use them as chips for salsa. Put them in salads, but for now we're going to use it on the bottom. And when you have the steak and everything on top, it's going to be great. And I had, like, there's my pan, so you want to definitely let it cool down and wipe it out. You don't want all that stuff in there when you're going to cook the other one or go right to another pan. And here's the leftovers. This is what I have left over of that batch. So you see how they're already getting hard? I'm going to let these harden up, and then I'm going to use them as snacks. So let's just get this pan clean, and we'll cook the rest of the stuff. And it won't take long because the steak is already pre-cooked. Alright, the pan is clean. And the next thing we have is cilantro and the peppers. So dice up the amount of peppers you want. And we're going to throw those in that pan with olive oil or avocado oil, whatever's your preference. And then we'll throw some cilantro in towards the end. But this one's a really quick thing. You can modify it, add it, or subtract stuff. But there's not many ingredients in this one. But sorry if the light is not great today, and we're getting that storm. I'll zoom over here. Excuse my table. I was cooking, and it's really not organized. But look how windy it is. All right, so we ended up only using one of these green peppers. I'm going to save this for another time. Probably not for a cook because it won't last that long. Now we're going to put olive oil in here. I'm going to use olive oil spray, and we're going to just start cooking this. If you want to add other stuff, you can, but it's not needed right now. But you could always add onion, shallot, whatever you want to do. Alright, so I have the peppers in there, and I have the stove on medium. I ended up using really good spray olive oil. You could use it in the bottle. So let these peppers get soft. I'm going to put some adobo in there. Now we're going to just be using one pan. I always like to cook with one pan. So just take the spoon or whatever you want to use and just start stirring this around. If you want, you could use garlic butter. Like, I have onions, but sorry, I'm not in the mood to cut them up right now. But just cook this, and when it gets to a certain point, we'll add actually cilantro. And I did actually pull out the garlic. This is why I say I don't like to edit these videos, because I want to keep them real. And it's just like if you and I are cooking in the kitchen, we might change our mind and add an ingredient or take an ingredient away. So just cook these on between low and medium. Just get them soft, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients in there. Alright, so we're done with that. Now we're going to go to the cilantro, and we're going to pull some cilantro off. You don't have to worry about stemming it, and throw it in there. Then we're throwing some garlic. Alright, so we got the garlic, we got the cilantro in there. And just let that cook down a bit. You can never have too much of that, but you can add what you want. There's no really ingredients. So just put one bunch of cilantro in there. If you want, take some more Goya, adobo. And this thing is my go-to spice. It can add spice to almost any food. Alright, let that go for a minute, then we'll add the garlic in, and we're not too far away. Alright, so we have that cilantro in there. It's cooking down, and then you can see the garlic. You're going to want to start blending all this together. Sorry, my kitchen is a compact kitchen. If you go to my vlog, you can see a tour of the kitchen. So just start mixing this in. If you wanted to, you could put char on those peppers, or you could have bought red roasted peppers and made it with that. That would have added a lot more color and flavor. But with my recipes, I give you the ideas and the foundation. You can mix it all up. So the thing we're going to want to do next is we're going to throw the steak in here and the taco seasoning, and then we're basically almost there. Like, I have a tomato. We could actually add tomato into it, or we can add it on the top when it's done, and it could be like a steak taco salad. Alright, so you can see how that cilantro cooked down and everything blended together. Like I said, sorry about this light. Next week or the following week, I got to work on getting better lights, because if winter's going to be like this, the light's going to be bad. So let's just add the steak, and then we'll mix it together a bit, spray with olive oil if we need, and then throw in some of that taco seasoning. Alright, so we added the steak into there. Since I only cooked for one, I only put some steak in there. I don't want to overkill it because you want to taste everything. To be honest with you, you'd probably be best to add roasted peppers into this thing, because if you added that into there, it would be unbelievable. If you want, you could open up like a can of diced tomatoes, drain the juice, and add that in there. Add that in there. I can't talk. So, all right, we have it on medium. Just start stirring this together. You hear my microwave going off. I'm cooking. I'm making actually warm water for tea, peach ginger tea. So just mix this up, and we'll be back to add the taco seasoning. Alright, so we cooked that down a bit. The thing you're going to want to do is take some of that taco seasoning, throw it in there, and then the thing we're going to do is I actually got fire roasted tomatoes out of my cupboard. So we're going to throw some in there, and we're just going to mix it up. If you need to add more olive oil, be free to. Alright, so we have the tomatoes in there. It's really shadowy today with this video. I apologize. I tell you, natural light is the best, but we added in there. I actually forgot about the tomato sauce, so we're going to add a little bit of tomato sauce in there to make it a little bit pizza. And we're almost done. Alright, so I have the tomatoes in there, and I got the spaghetti sauce. So just throw some sauce in there. Like I said, we don't want to overkill it. It's going to change the outlook of this. If you want it, you could have skipped that and just had the diced tomatoes in there. If you want it. To be honest with you, if I could do it over again, I would have left it out. Would have probably been a lot better. So just mix that up, and we're almost done. We could either throw the cheese in there, or we can throw it on top. Alright, so we're done with that. You can see that everything's in there, the spaghetti sauce. Like I said, you could have left that out, and it would have looked a little bit more pretty. So now we have these garlic bread, soft tortillas that I did. And you know what I did? Since I had leftover food, I'm making something else for a snack for later or tomorrow. See, I took the extra garlic tortillas, and I put the sauce on there. I'm going to let it sit there. I'm going to add some Mexican seasoning. Then I'm going to put it in a Ziploc bag, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. But that just shows you right there that if you have leftovers, you can create something different. So the thing we're going to do is we're going to plate this, and then we're going to put this on top, and then you can sprinkle the cheese on if you want. And then that makes for some really good healthy meal that tastes good. Alright, YouTube and Facebook, look at that. That's what they look like when you put them on a plate. Now you could actually just top these with anything. If you want it, you can make this 2 layers, but I'm actually going to make it 1 layer. But you see how I cut them, and it looks like a pizza. So if you wanted to, you could use this as an appetizer and put on stuff that you want. Someone could come up and just eat that thing. So the thing we're going to want to do next is put this stuff on top. And then we can top it with cheese, and we're done. Alright, YouTube and Facebook, there you have it. That's how you cook something unique and different. Like, you could cover this all the ways to the edges if you want, but I wanted to put it in the middle so you could see the char of the garlic bread here. If you want it, you can line this stuff with olives, sliced olives, or cheese, and you could basically do anything that you want with this. But look at this. This thing is really good. Like, I have a little bit left over, and I tasted this, and just the mixture itself, the filling is unbelievable. If you want, here's the cheese. You could add that, but that's basically how you do it. Alright, YouTube and Facebook, so there you have it. I topped it with cheese. You really don't have to. I'm not going to do it right now, but if you want, take this lime, cut it in half, and spray lime over top of it, and use the other half, cut wedges, and put it around it. But basically, with this kind of idea, you can do anything. Like, look at it. Look at the space around here. You could line it up with like olives, like I said, chilies. Do whatever you want. But there's basically the way to do it. Thanks for visiting my channel. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for hitting the bell. You're going to get 3 to 5 updates a week. I've been really busy in my Facebook poetry page. I have a world poetry page, and that can be found under Dansoy Media, or the Media of Dansoy. I've been there a lot, so I've been trying to separate my time between here and the poetry. I love to write poetry. But there's your Mexican dish. I don't really have a name for it, but I can guarantee it tastes good. If you don't like steak, you could substitute chicken or even seafood like shrimp. If you wanted to, you could even do clams. So, I love you. Peace.